All right, thanks you guys for joining me today. Welcome, my name is Jessie. I'm with Decker Truckline, and we are going to be talking about our dedicated refrigerated position. That it's a brand new opportunity for those of you who are interested. And if you have questions, please feel free to put those questions into the chat and I can answer them as they come in. But I will go ahead. I've got a fair amount of information to give you all the details on the position itself, and hopefully you'll leave here knowing exactly what we've got going on and what we've got available, the benefits, the pay, the equipment, all of the above. So please take your time to ask the questions. I'll get those answered for you. I appreciate you guys having the time or taking the time to join me today. This is a virtual hiring event, so if you've never been to this before, it is really a place that you can qualify yourself based off of our requirements that we have here at Decker, and with the information that you're going to find out about this position, determine if it's going to be a good fit for you. And if it is, then please give us a call back at 888-668-0698. And we will go ahead, and I'll repeat that number throughout, but 888-668-0698 is the telephone number to reach one of our recruiters and discuss this fresh meat dedicated refrigerated position, this brand new opportunity that we are going to be discussing today. So now, with that said, as you can see, I've got a little bit of a map here for you, and this map is really the hiring area itself. So if you don't live within this hiring area, you're not currently going to qualify for this particular position. That doesn't mean that we don't have other positions available for you. Again, you will just want to reach out to us at 888-668-0698 to get the full spectrum of what we've got out of your area. Now, Decker has been around since 1931. This is our 90th year. It is a family-owned company, and we definitely put our drivers first and foremost, because without them, we wouldn't even be here. And we make sure that you've got the most comfortable trucks out there, very well maintained and full of comfortable amenities. We have APUs, we have inverters, we have refrigerators and microwaves, bunk heaters, CB units. We have navigation through our TransFlow GeoTab unit, the ELD system. Also, we have free Wi-Fi through that. We provide 32-inch televisions plus the Epic View satellite TV programming. That's over 100 plus channels of free channels to you of TV, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and of course, the Sunday Ticket. We have the Smart Drive system in all of our trucks, which does include both inward and outward facing event recorders, the speed gauge, following distance, lane departure, etc. With a Smart Drive, just a side note, with that Smart Drive system, we do have one of our monthly bonuses is based off of that alone. So you can get an extra penny per mile on all the miles that you run just based off of that. And if you've seen any of our Facebook Lives, which by the way, we do a Facebook Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Central on our Facebook page, facebook.com/DTL Inc. If you check us out, you'll get more details on what's available right now, right there and then, and of course, updates on any of our company policies, procedures, equipment, etc. We keep you up to date every single week. Every Tuesday at noon Central, we do a live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/C for company /Decker Truckline. So join us on either one of those. Those are Central times, 4 p.m. on Monday on Facebook and at 12 Central on Tuesdays. So then that's for the YouTube. So just join us then, and we'll be doing these hiring events for you on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central right here. So keep an eye open on LinkedIn and some of our other resources, our other social media, as you'll get notified, even in your email, as you get notified when these new opportunities come about. So back to what is in the trucks. Like I said, that Smart Drive that does give you an extra penny per mile is one of the bonuses, but it's only one of our bonuses that are out there. And we'll discuss that a little bit more in depth here shortly. Also in the trucks, we have the pre-pass, easy pass, K-pass, so all of your tools and scales are covered. With the TransFlow Geotab unit, which is the ELD system that's in your truck, we do have it hooked up to not only to the smart drive and the scorecard, which is scorecard is more of a performance-based bonus system as well, but we also have it hooked up to the CAT scale. So every time you need to go weigh your truck, you've got the CAT scale app as part of your TransFlow Geotab unit in the truck. You can also download the TransFlow app on your phone if you prefer that. And again, everything's connected to it. So once you weigh the truck, it's all right there and then. Now that is for just some of the basic information. Now we do obviously have all of those amenities. We have more as well, and we'll dive into those, like some of the basics, like making sure that you have extra fluid for the trucks, making sure that you've got manuals for running how to use the equipment that we've got. We've got videos on our YouTube channel to walk you through how-tos, tutorials, tips, suggestions that'll help you throughout. Like I said, some of the extra fluids, having windshield wiper fluid, you have an additional resource or additional expenses. Those are all covered with your COM data card if you need to go get any of those, so that it's nothing that's coming out of your pocket. All of those are covered by us, and we do a lot for that. Same with the hands-free device. There's a lot of little things here and there that you come to need as an over-the-road driver, or even more as a regional driver, that you don't recognize that you need up front. Once you need to get it, we do supply a lot of that. The hands-free device for your phone, because obviously we are hands-free, that is available. You can either get that from the company here, or we'll reimburse $32 if you have gone to purchase one outside of the Decker available one. So that's an option as well. We do allow truck washes. Our trucks are good looking, we know, and we want to keep them that way. And you can go ahead and get a truck washed out on the road every month. You can do it once a month. However, you can get it washed all the time at one of our terminals. So if every time that you go through a terminal, get that truck washed, get that taken care of, truck, trailer, all of the above. So you're looking pretty good going down the road. And that's always also available to you. But let's dive deeper into this position, since that's what we're all about, not just the equipment that we have and all the amenities and all the benefits that are included as well, but the position itself. Now, this is a dedicated position. It is a fresh meat dedicated. So it is covering a number of customers that are fresh meat specific. So you'll be getting a preloaded trailer on the initial. And then when you go to deliver it, you're delivering with a live unload. It is no-touch freight. All of our freight is no-touch freight. But on the initial side, you'll be getting a load from a number of different locations. It could be Storm Lake. It could be in areas of Nebraska. We have several areas in Iowa, Waterloo, Dakota City, Madison, Nebraska, like I was saying, Columbus Junction or Eagle Grove Village in Iowa. So those are the main locations that you'll be seeing for our refrigerated, guaranteed $1,500, by the way, refrigerated dedicated position that we have here. Yes, I did say guaranteed $1,500. Now the rate of pay is based off of your experience, but the weekly guaranteed is $1,500. So if you have, for an example, if you're just shy of a year, you'd be starting off at 48 cents a mile. We do require a minimum of 5 months of tractor trailer experience, but say you have that even, you'd be starting at the 48 cents a mile, still guaranteed that $1,500 guaranteed pay each week. And yes, you're paid every Friday, direct deposit. You get all your paperwork in by Sunday night, and I'll relay that or go deeper into that here in just a moment. But the cents per mile is based off of the experience. 10 cents of that is per diem, so you're not taxed on it. So you're only taxed on, in this case, it'd be 38 cents, and then the 10 cents, again, not taxed, which gives you a little bit more take home on a week-by-week basis. Whether you're getting the $1,500 guaranteed or if you're getting paid the mileage pay, you're still getting a portion of per diem or non-taxable income. So you'll be seeing that based off of the miles that you run. The $1,500 guaranteed does have criteria that you have to meet in order to get it. It's very basic though. Making sure that you have your paperwork in on time. That's a must. And I know that's not a habit for some of us, but that's definitely a habit that you want to create. Get your paperwork in by Sunday night at 10 p.m. Ideally, get it in after each load. 10 p.m. is the cutoff, and everything you get in by 10 p.m. gets paid on Friday. Remember, you meet these requirements, then you'll get at least that $1,500. If you don't meet the requirements, you'll get the pay per mile based off of the miles that you ran. Now, if you exceed with your mileage, if you exceed that $1,500, again, you'll get the better of the two. Now, let's go back to that criteria. Get your paperwork in by 10 p.m. on Sunday. No load refusals, no preventable accidents or Csa violations for the week. Be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week, and no driver service claims. Those are the 6 criteria. Very basic, I know, but those are the 6 criteria in order to qualify for the $1,500. So again, you're picking up at a number of different locations out of Iowa, and mostly out of Iowa and Nebraska, sometimes in Illinois, and then delivering it to areas of Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, and Wisconsin, Indiana, if I didn't say that. So those are all areas that you'll be delivering where during the delivery, it'll be a live unload. Now, obviously, you're going to come back on a backhaul. The backhaul can be a variety of different things. It's not necessarily the fresh meat at that point. It could be some of our customers, well, a variety of our customers, and we can go through that more in detail one-on-one if you have questions about it. Just give me a holler at 888-668-0698, and we'll go ahead and answer some of those questions for you directly at that point. So far, it looks like I'm answering all of those questions that are coming in, so I'm just going to keep going. And like I said, interrupt me at any time as those questions come in. Home time is really based off of where you live. As you can see in this map, Fort Dodge, Iowa, Carroll, Iowa, these are all locations that we can get you home on a weekly basis, which means you're getting home, say, Friday night or even Saturday, and then coming back out either Sunday or Monday, depending. So you have at least a 34 at home. There we go. So you have at least a 34 at home. Now, for some locations within this area, say Waterloo. Waterloo is a great example. So is Perry or Storm Lake or Columbus Junction, Lansing, Illinois, and Elk Grove Village, Illinois. All good locations, such good locations that we can actually get you home on an every other day basis, as well as getting you home on the weekends. So again, weekends is usually a 34, sometimes up to a 48, but at least a 34-hour restart for that. If you come in on a Friday, you'll probably come out back out on a Sunday. If you come in on or come home on a Saturday, you'll come back out on a Monday. It's kind of an out and back type scenario when you're out there. And that's why with some of those locations, like I said, Elk Grove Village, Illinois, or Lansing, Illinois, Perry, Iowa, Waterloo, Columbus Junction, Storm Lake, those are all locations that we can get you home every other day because of the out and back that it is, as well as home on the weekends. It still guarantees you that $1,500. You're just in a prime area that gives us the opportunity to provide you more home time in those locations versus some of these others. And like I said before, if you're not within this hiring area that you see illustrated here on this map, that doesn't take you out of the opportunity to run for Decker. It still gives you opportunity to run for us. It just would be in a different division. Whether you're looking at refrigerated or flatbed or even van, we have multiple options and available for you. So please, like I said, if you have additional questions, either put them in the chat here or go ahead and call one of our recruiters at 888-668-0698. So now you know the money, you know you get paid every Friday, you know the home time, you know a little bit about the equipment that we have. By the way, most of the equipment is, they're either 579 Peterbilts, they can be 730, 760 Volvos, Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions. We have a couple of those as well, but we are mostly Petes. Average age of about 18 months for our trucks, so we definitely keep them newer. And like I said before, they are very well stocked with the APUs and the microwaves and the refrigerators and the TVs and CB units and all kinds of stuff. They're very well stocked and very well equipped, and we can get you a video of some of the details in the truck and how it's set up as well if you have more questions on that. Now, let's talk about the next step. If you feel like this is a good fit for you and you reach out to us, and by the way, you can also apply online at drivedecker.com. That's drivedecker.com. You can also apply online there. In the upper right-hand corner, it'll say apply now. That's where you go. Fill out an Intelli app, and then we can get you approved at that point. You do need to have at least 5 months of tractor trailer experience to qualify for this. And of course, a valid Class A CDL and at least 21 years of age. Now, we can work with some tickets. Some moving violations we can't work with for 3 years. If you have excessive moving violations, you will want to get that record cleaned up first before we can move forward. If you have 3 tickets in the last 3 years, we could probably work with that as long as you don't have multiple major moving violations. If you have just one major moving violation, then we should be fine to move forward. If you have multiple incidents, backing incidents, or rear end accidents, something like that, if it is not a DOT recordable accident, we can work with incidents within the last 3 years, but again, it cannot be a DOT recordable accident, a preventable DOT recordable accident, I should specify. So here's a couple of things that would determine if it's a DOT recordable. Either somebody was towed, somebody was injured, there's a fatality, or that ticket ended up determining whether or not that was a DOT recordable accident. Also, if the amount of the damage was significant, it can also deem it DOT recordable. And we can find out more by that by looking at the accident report and reviewing that, as well as getting employment verifications, which is a process that we do when we get you approved. So again, once we've received your application and you have all of these details on what would qualify you, what would disqualify you from the position, then we would go through and run all of these reports. We're running your background reports, your criminal, your work history, employment verifications, of course the clearinghouse, which is new to a lot of you. It started in January 6th of 2020, I believe, beginning of 2020, and that is the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. So it has all of the information of all of the drug tests that you've taken recently. It's supposed to have all of the companies as well as all of the drivers in there, so it's all in one nice spot. But as we get employment verifications and verify background, get your MVR, your motor vehicle record, as well as your PSP. Now, a lot of you aren't familiar with the PSP, so I'm going to explain what that is. It is basically your CSA score, for lack of a better way of describing it. But any inspection that you've had is going to be on your PSP report if it's within the last 3 years. So all of your inspections are on there. That also helps to verify employment. Quite handy when we're having a hard time getting a hold of a company, or maybe even the company went out of business and we're still trying to verify this employment, because it is required, obviously, by DOT to verify employment. And we want to make sure that we're giving you the best opportunity to come and work for us. The PSP report does offer some of that verification if you had an inspection for it. Now, obviously, if you didn't have any inspections or write-ups, whether a clean inspection or a write-up during that PSP or on that PSP, so during an inspection, then that company's not going to show up on there. But again, sometimes they do. And so we'll have your PSP report, your MVR, which is your motor vehicle record. We'll have your background on there and making sure that we're good there, as well as your employment verifications with your previous companies. So we have to verify all of your companies, whether it was driving or non-driving, or DOT or non-DOT related, in the last 3 years. We like a 10-year work history, so we have you fill out a 10-year work history on your application, and the 7 years, or excuse me, the last 7 years, the previous 7 years is not verified, but the last 3 are verified. Once we determine whether or not you are qualified for the position, we can then offer you a position in orientation. Our orientation has been condensed into about 2.5 days. So what we do is we now offer some online orientation prior to coming to Fort Dodge. Not only do we offer that online orientation, which we use Luma, the eNugget learning platform, in order to get that information out to you, but we also have you do both your physical and your urinalysis drug test ahead of time. That way we've got those back, and instead of taking an extra 2 days waiting for the drug test to come back, we already have those back by the time you start orientation, making it a much easier transition, and you're able to get dispatched out much sooner, which is really what you're wanting anyway, because that gives you the opportunity to start making some more money. Yes, we pay for orientation, but obviously you're making more money out on the road. So that's what that's our goal to help you get to that point. So again, orientation does consist of coming to Fort Dodge, Iowa for a 2.5-day in-class orientation, but prior to that, you have the online orientation through the Luma eNugget Learning Center. We will email and text you the details on that once you've been approved. And then we will also set up your transportation to orientation itself into Fort Dodge, whether you're looking at a rental car or a flight or maybe another option. We'll get that set up for you. Before that even, you will have your physical and your drug test. Now, if your physical is up to date and it's not more than 6 months old and you have at least 6 months more to go on it, then you're going to be fine and qualify for we'll just continue to use that qualified DOT physical. Otherwise, we'll set up the physical at the same time that your analysis is, so that you're done with it, it's over and done with, and we can get you into orientation. Like I said, we'll take care of your transportation here. We have orientation. The option is either starting on Monday, unless Wednesday is a better fit for you. So I know if during the middle of a transition, it doesn't always work out that you can start Monday. So again, you've got that Wednesday option to fall back on if it's more convenient. But with the 2.5-day orientation, you're starting off with the PCE and the hair follicle, and then you'll have the driving test. The PCE, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, that's a physical capacity evaluation. And really what that is it measures your range of motion and your resistance. And then the hair follicle test, that ranges for about 90 days. It's about 1/4 of an inch that they're testing, and it's about a 90-day evaluation for the hair follicle. So yes, we do the urinalysis ahead of time, but we do the hair follicle when you get here. And then the driving test, again, you'll have that. That's probably on Tuesday, depending on time of throughout the orientation and questions and how long everything else is taking. You'll go through some of the company policies, the procedures, some of the stuff that could be a review from your online, but a lot of it is really some of the other departments, the safety department, the operations department, etc., coming in, meeting with you, and having one-on-ones discussing the position itself, making sure that your expectations reflect our expectations and that we're all on the same page. From there, again, you'll meet with your driver manager. You'll go through the same expectation form, still just as you go from the recruiter to driver training. And when I say driver training, I mean the orientation, and then into with the driver manager. That way you're all on the same page for expectations for this position. And like I said, it's a dedicated refrigerated position. Depending on where you live, it's going to offer you every other day home time as well as the weekend or on the weekends. So if you have more questions, the best thing to do is to reach out to us at 888-668-0698. You can also apply online at drivedecker.com and we'll go from there. Now, we don't stop at the end of orientation. So yes, you're dispatched out probably Wednesday or Friday, depending on when you start. And by the way, you do get an extra $100 bonus for completing the for completing the urinalysis, the physical and the online orientation prior to coming to orientation. So you're finishing those things gets you an extra $100 bonus on top of the $500 that you're receiving for orientation. So that'll all be handed to you on a comm check, so you can go cash it or on your comm data card, so you have it right then and there, leaving orientation. But because you've completed orientation doesn't mean the communication stops there. We continue on with that. You'll meet Katie, and Katie McFarland is our concierge for those of you who are in orientation, and she'll be your go-to while you're there. You still have the orientation staff, phenomenal staff that you will grow to love, if not immediately. They're an awesome support system, not only when you first come in, but they're individuals that you can rely on and communicate back and forth with later on as well. Several of them still drive for us, a lot of times on the weekends, so they're still driving. A lot of them started driving for us to begin with, but we have that opportunity in those open lanes of communication so that you can stay on top of what our expectations are and what we need from you, and then it helps us learn what you need from us. So make sure that you keep the communication open with everybody. Now back to Katie. Katie is right there kind of transitioning you from the training itself into working with your driver manager, making sure that your truck is in good order. When you're assigned a truck, she's going to walk through that with you and make sure it's in the condition that it needs to be. It's in a quality condition. If you're a non-smoker, that you're looking at a truck that is a non-smoking truck, that it's all cleaned and detailed. Like I said, all of our trucks are newer model, average age of about 18 months, but you're not necessarily assigned a brand new truck. Doesn't mean that you won't be upgraded soon, but most of our brand new trucks go to our veteran drivers initially before before being given to somebody who's just starting with us. But it's based off of the availability of the trucks themselves. So whether or not you like Peterbilts or Volvos or Freightliners, that could be, it again, could be based off of what's available is what you would be seeing. But Katie will walk you through and get you initiated really with the truck and familiar with your surroundings, familiar with the terminal itself. And then from there, you'll be working with your driver manager for the most part. They're your main contact. And he'll be helping you out, he'll be dispatching you, he'll be making sure that the home time is what you want and what you're expecting. But you have other departments that you can rely on. We have an art program here. If you're not familiar with it, which wouldn't surprise me, the art program is an ambassador program where you have additional individual to work with and to really make sure that you're catching on to everything within the next 3 months. So this first 90 days that you're here with Decker is the time where you're learning all of this information. And sometimes coming out of orientation or even just attending the online orientation, you might be overwhelmed with all of the information that we provide. That's okay, because it's okay that you feel overwhelmed, but it's not okay if we didn't support you. And that's why you have this driver support. You have all kinds of support from this in-house staff. The ambassador, this art driver, or this art ambassador, excuse me, is really a resource for you to ask, okay, so go through the benefits information with me again. Or maybe it's, you know what, can you explain this scorecard to me? I don't really get it. Or what's up with this smart drive? I get bonus for it? Can you give me some more details? How do I get my paperwork in to TransFlow? All of these things are discussed during orientation, but when you're given so much information all at once, not all of it sinks in, and we totally understand that. And that's why you have all of these individuals as resources at the tip of your fingertips. You can call them. You can text them, they'll reach out to you as well. And there's also drivers that you can speak to who are already doing the position that you can ask one-on-one just to make sure that you're going into that shipper or receiver in the right location. You're communicating that with your driver manager. You might be talking to your ambassador about it. It just depends on who you feel most comfortable discussing this kind of information with. Like I said, you do have the you do have that art person available to you, that art ambassador available to you for the next 90 days. And if you need them for longer, we're here for you for longer as well. Now, your art ambassador could be somebody out of operations, could be somebody out of recruiting or training. It could be somebody out of HR or management. We've got safety ambassadors. So again, these ambassadors are here to support you and help you get the most out of driving for Decker as possible. And when it comes to that, let's dive in just a little bit more on how to get the most out of driving for Decker. Now currently we have a $5,000 bonus that is available to you. It is our sign-on bonus, and it pays out quarterly. It pays $1,250 each quarter. Yes, I always get the question, what's the catch? Well, the catch is pretty basic. You have to meet the minimum requirements that I mentioned for that $1,500. The $1,500 minimum requirements, again, make sure you're available for dispatch. No load refusals. So available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week, excuse me, and then no load refusals. Get your paperwork in on time. No driver service claims, so on-time delivery. No preventable incidents, and no CSA violations for that week. So week by week basis, and that's for the $1,500. Now take those same requirements, transfer them over to the $5,000 sign-on bonus. Same exact requirements, but this time, instead of having to be 100% compliant or 100% on each and every week, you only need to be compliant 70% of the time. So if you had a week that you slipped up, you know what? That's all right. You're still going to be able to qualify for that for that $5,000 sign-on bonus. Again, it pays out each quarter at $1,250 for the quarter. Now, that isn't it though. It's a $5,000 plus. It's an accelerator sign-on bonus. So if you ran over 25,000 miles for the quarter, all of the miles over 25,000 you're going to get paid an extra 5 cents a mile on all those miles. This is attached. This 5 cents a mile bonus on the miles over 25,000 is attached to that sign-on bonus, and it goes each quarter. So again, if you're going to get the $1,250, but you could possibly get $1,500 or $1,550 or so because of the additional miles that you're running. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to one of the recruiters at 888-668-0698. So now you know about the sign-on bonus. I mentioned that Smart Drive bonus, which is a penny per mile. In order to qualify for that, that is, like I said, a penny per mile. Your Smart Drive score has to be 20 or less. 20 or less. This last month, we had 136 drivers with a perfect score of 0. That just shows you that that Smart Drive score is most definitely doable to get that 20 or less. So 20 points or less for that. Things that you're scored on, if you're following too close, or if you have, if you've been pinged speeding, there we go, or erratic lane departures. Those are all things that could ping you or that you could have points against you for. But the best thing to do is just reach out to us or reach out to safety and get information on that. Again, talking to your driver manager about that is very helpful. And our safety department, Patrice and Lindy, are fantastic about helping you improve on your Smart Drive score. Our goal is to help you achieve those highest numbers, well, lowest numbers in the case of the Smart Drive, the lower number so that you can achieve higher numbers on your paycheck. Now that's the second bonus I'm talking about. Now we also have the Scorecard Bonus. The Scorecard Bonus is another monthly bonus like the Smart Drive, except it has 7 criteria. The 7 criteria, in order to get anywhere from 1 to 4 cents more per mile on all the miles that you completed throughout the month, would be your idle time. Making sure that you keep your idle time low. There's different percentages for how many points you'd be taken off based off of how high your idle time is. But remember, we have APU units in the truck. We have microwaves. We have refrigerators. We have bunk heaters. We've got all of these resources, these amenities in the truck to help you cut down on your idle time. So idle time is a factor. Fuel compliance is a factor. Yes, we do route you for fuel routes. This can be a huge savings for the company, and we pass that on by having it weigh as heavily as it does on the scorecard. So if you are compliant, and again at every different levels of compliancy, so percentage-wise, especially if you're 100% compliant, then you'll see the max payout on that. So you've got idle time, fuel compliance, miles. Miles are another factor. And these are doable miles. We're realistic with these miles. We aren't putting these at making sure that you are maxing out on your miles every single week. No, these are just mile requirements that'll make sure that you are consistent with this. So the mile requirement, let me double check this for you and make sure that I've got. There you go. All right. So for the mileage requirement, you're looking at, in this Midwest refrigerated, this dedicated position, you want to get at least 2,400 miles a week in order to get that. And that's in order to get your max, qualify for the scorecard bonus. Oh, there we go. I wasn't sure if that was coming. Okay, so that's that bonus. Now we also have, so let's review what we have so far. We have the miles, we have the idle time, we have the fuel compliance. Any Csa violations that you had, that would go into account. If you have a Csa violation for the month, then you will forfeit all of the points for what you'll either make it or you don't make it for the points. With the miles, there's different levels of it, just like with the idle time and the fuel compliance. So if you are running 21 to 2,200 miles for the week, or average that for the week, you'd be seeing at 25 points out of the 150 points total for the mileage bonus. Now remember that, maybe I didn't tell this, but the total points that you want to earn is 1,000. So you have 1,000 points total for the bonus. Of that, the miles account for 150 of it. And as long as you're getting 825 or above on your scorecard altogether, you'll be getting at least 1 to 4 cents more per mile. So one more time, we have Csa violations. You'll forfeit 200 points for that. Preventable accidents, if you have a preventable accident, you would forfeit the points for that. Your miles is 150 points total. You've got your idle time, you've got your fuel compliance, and you've got if you had any claims, you would forfeit that. It's like I said, on some of them, like idle time and fuel compliance and miles, if there's different levels of points for those, different percentages. With Csa points, with preventable accidents, with claims or driver service failures, that's the other one that I hadn't mentioned yet. That's either you had one or you didn't have one. So it's either forfeit those points or you get to keep those points based off of having them or having. It's like a yes or no. So again, those yes or no's would be your Csa violations, preventable accidents, if you had a driver service claim or a late load that was because maybe you managed your time wrong, but it's something that's not customer or weather related, basically. Something that's out of your hands. And then the other option, or the other one, is if you had any claims. That's the 4 criteria. That is more of a yes, no, forfeit or not criteria. So far, looks like we're doing good. Looks like we're answering all of those questions. But that's the scorecard bonus. So that is yet the other bonus that you can qualify for, which combined between the Smart Drive and the scorecard, that can get you a full 5 cents more per mile just on bonuses on the month to month. So great payouts for this last month. We paid over $82,000 to our company and owner operators this last month in bonuses. That's over $82,000. So we'd love to see those bigger payouts that we have. Means that we're doing better as a company. We're taking care of our customers and our drivers in this resource, and then we're working well as a team, as a company that way. So we absolutely love those payouts. There are more incentives as a company driver for us. Now, with, again, staying on this dedicated position, this refrigerated position, you do have the opportunity to get Driver of the Month. Driver of the Month is based very much so on this, both the Smart Drive and the Scorecard scores. So if you've got good scores, and honestly, it's been more and more consistent that those need to be perfect scores for the month in order to qualify. And now it's not a requirement that it's a perfect score, but it's our top scorers who receive the Driver of the Month nominations. And I say that is because we have so many drivers who are getting perfect scores. We had over 100 drivers receive perfect scores, or excuse me, we had over 70 drivers receive perfect scorecards. We had well over, let's see, we had about 46% receiving the scorecard bonus last month altogether. We had well over $100 drivers receiving at least, receiving a perfect score on the Smart Drive. So these, like I said, these bonuses are very achievable, but because they are achievable, it makes it even more competitive for the Driver of the Month. The Driver of the Month gets a $100 gift card to Walmart. You also get a $50 gift card to our Decker store. So you can get sweet shirts like this, some quick, fun little trinkets like the squishies or the coolers or all kinds of things. You tumblers, all of those are available to you at the company store that you can, hats, jackets, gloves, etc. But again, that's just some of the additional amenities that you get. So the winner of the Driver of the Month for the 6 divisions that we have will get a $100 gift card to Walmart, a $50 gift card to the company store, plus our nominees will get a $50 Walmart gift card and a gift from the Decker store that'll be sent out to you as well. But the reason that the Driver of the Month is so significant is not only the fact that it's brag worthy to be able to say that you had earned that title, it also positions you for the Driver of the Year. Now the Driver of the Year, this is for each division, so we've got our 6 divisions for Driver of the Year. They will be rewarded $3,000. So each division winner will receive $3,000 in cash. That's on top of all of the other bonuses that you'll be receiving. Now from there, it goes one step higher. We have Grand Champion. Now our Grand Champion is chosen from those 6 individuals who qualify for the Driver of the Year on those divisions. That said, the Grand Champion gets $15,000 in addition to everything else. But I'm telling you, if you are Grand Champion, not only have you earned that $15,000 Grand Champion title and bonus and jacket and plaque and decals and everything that goes with it, but you've also earned many months of bonuses, additional bonuses, hundreds, thousands of dollars of bonuses. Dean always says, why don't you do it? It's an easy $5,000. You do your job, you get that extra $5,000 each year from someone who knows well what it takes to earn those bonuses. That's not it though. We have more bonuses. We have more incentives. Our referral bonus is a very lucrative bonus, actually, for our drivers. If you refer 1, 2, or 3 drivers within the year, you will get an additional $1,500 for every driver that hires on that you refer. That pays out within 90 days. So you'll get your first installment, it's $250 when they get first dispatched. You'll get another $250 after they've been here for 30 days. You'll get $500 when they've been here for 60 days. And you'll get the remaining $500 after they've been here for 90 days. Now I know many of our drivers are quite picky on who they refer because they want to make sure it's somebody that is a quality driver, someone has a great reputation because they feel like it's a reflection of them. I love that because that means that those individuals who are coming on and who are referred are quality individuals that work hard, and I know that I am more than willing and able to put 100% of my efforts to take good care of them. Because they know how to do it right, and I know that it is worth helping them to get there. Now the referral bonus, again, $1,500 for the first 3 drivers each, for the first 3 drivers that are hired on that are referred. That's not the only thing that you get. The more people you refer, the higher that amount goes up. So if you refer 4 or 5 drivers, that's $2,000 per driver. If you refer 6 or more, it's $2,500 per driver. And instead of paying out the 500 and 500 at 60 and 90 days, it goes up to I think it's 1250, 750 and 1250. There you go. I don't do math. So it just keeps going up. The 2,500 is the max payout per driver currently for our referral bonus. But that's, like I said, there's so many more incentives that go along with it. We have the tumblers, a Decker tumbler or a Decker mug. We have the t-shirts, free t-shirts for a referring driver. You get a $100 pilot gift card after you've referred, I think, 3 drivers. You get a $100 referral gift card to Pilot Flying J. You get actually you get little business cards. These business cards are handy because once you have those in hand, it's so much easier when someone stops you and say, "Man, those are nice looking trucks," which is going to happen. "Man, those are nice looking trucks. What do you think of this company?" Give them a little bit of detail. Write your name and your number on the back. Or if you have the business card already, we would have already printed it out with your name and truck number on the back. Hand it to them. It'll give them the recruiting numbers information, and we can contact them and help them to come aboard. Now, because they have your name on the back of the card, they'll know who referred them. Better yet, if you use your TransFlow app on your phone, you can send the recruiters details on them. It's already attached to you at that point, so you get option, which the grand champion is the individual who has had at least 5 referrals for the year. The top referral, the minimum requirement is have at least 5 hired on referrals for the year. And then you get the jacket, a Decker referral jacket, you get the decals, the extra $2,500 in cash, etc. So much. There are so many amenities, you guys, so many incentives that go along with the position itself. Besides getting to work with a great team and being able to meet all of these individuals, having a new family, having an addition to your family, I should say. But yeah, if you have more questions, please reach out to us, you guys. This is an awesome opportunity. We have availability, immediate availability, and you can reach out to us at 888-668-0698. You can also apply online at drivedecker.com, and you'll be able to get in contact with one of our recruiters. They'll give you additional details if you need it, get you pre-qualified, and that way we can get you started making some money. You guys, I thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me today. I know it was a lot of information, but I didn't want you to miss out on any of the opportunities, any of the incentives, the amenities that we have, making sure that I answered your questions fully. The only other thing that I don't remember going over, and it looks like it's a question here, is what are our benefits? Yes, our benefits start after 90 days. It's Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's an 80-20 plan. And there's 2 different plans. So you can either have a higher deductible, lower premium, or the higher premium, lower deductible. And just depends on the cost if you're a tobacco user, non-tobacco user, a family, spouse, or just you as an individual. So there's a couple of different options that you can choose from. We also have company paid life insurance, paid vacation, which is 1 week after 1 year, 2 after 3, 3 after 7. We have I think I said company paid life insurance. We have a 30% match on the 401k. We have additional insurances, the critical illness insurance. We have short-term, long-term disability insurance. Lots of different options for you, as well as flex spending account. And we have the MEMD as well as so if you chose the Decker insurance, then you also have the MEMD, which is teledoc service available to you. So that would be available to you. If you chose not to have the Decker insurance, maybe you have a different one, then you can still choose the MeMD, which is again the teledoc. It would just be $35 a month for that. So again, any questions, just reach out to us. As in addition to all of that, you are provided Unum resources. It's a life balance. It is an employment or an employee assistance program, and it provides a lot of information, training on, if you're dealing with a number of things, family issues at home, finances that you're trying to figure out, if you're dealing with estates or an estate, I should say, or if you're a caretaker, trying to caretake for elderly parents or teenager issues. I mean, it's a life balance, a work-life balance program, and it's called our Unum. So unum.com. And that is provided to all of our drivers, their families, and their extended families, just as a resource to refer to for any additional questions and to have that additional support. Now, like I said, there's quite a bit of amenities and incentives to this position altogether. And I'm sure I missed some, like layover, detention, mechanical breakdown. We have all of that. We also have extra pay for the $50 for the free and the clean inspections. So you get that. Like I said, there's lots of incentives, some of them that don't even come to the top of my head right now. But if you have those questions, yes, feel free to reach out to us, 888-668-0698. Now, don't forget, we will be holding these live events, hiring events, each Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central. And just keep an eye open on not only in your email, but they'll also be available on LinkedIn and as well as our website or our Facebook page. So that'll keep you up to date on some of these new opportunities that we have. Now, today we are discussing our Fresh Fleet dedicated refrigerated position that guarantees you $1,500 a week and home weekly. Although some of you get you home every other day and on the weekends. But again, that just depends on where you live. Call us, we'll talk more. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Join me on our Facebook Live, facebook.com/detailing, Facebook Live at 4 p.m. Central on Mondays, and Tuesday on our YouTube channel at noon Central. Again, you guys, thank you so much for your time. You have a great, wonderful rest of your day.